Hey everyone, this is Austin Doctor, and welcome back to another review. Yes, as I promised on Twitter, I'm going to do Bioshock Infinite. Kind of a playthrough, actually, but it's going to be, obviously, without the sound, and I have subtitles on if you want to follow along with the actual dialogue, but yeah, here you go. So, getting to the main purpose of this, Bunny Senpai, or Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Senpai, Episode 7, and this episode actually was quite the... I know some people probably got lost towards the middle of the entire thing because they questioned, how is there two Futabes? Well, that's where I'm here to explain it to you, basically. But anyway, so in the beginning we see, the Shoko, the girl that good old Sukada had a crush on again in his dream, and Sukada wakes up and kind of days next to him again, of course, and it was quite interesting to see that dream come again, and the whole question in that beginning was, how is she still here? I thought she disappeared, kind of thing. And we see that the girl actually has kind of came back to see the cat, and it's kind of interesting because it seems that good old Sukada is kind of just not understanding what's going on, but he's trying to understand it. And I wouldn't say this is Futabe's arc alone. I think it's more of Futaba, and I know it's kind of weird to say, but Sukada's kind of arc, because it's obvious the man hasn't really let go of Shoko. And that's kind of why we see he likes Mei, kind of goes into the root of why he likes her, I guess. But we won't go too far into that because some people disagree. But anyways, we see that Kanade is still shy, and she's actually jealous of Shoko because, Suka is kind of treating her like a little sister. But, what do you expect? He used to have a crush on that girl a while ago, and she's in 7th grade, but it's weird, to say the least. And we see Sukada contacts Futaba, and Futaba we see after has her hair down for once, and that kind of raised the entire question of what's really going on. Why is Futaba like that? And it doesn't even seem like Futaba is herself. And Shoko is in the same grade, as I said before, as she was when Sukada had a crush on her. And it seems that time has not passed for Shoko, and she doesn't remember Sukada. And it really is confusing to some people, but as I said, with this arc, you're kind of just going to have to accept what is there right in your face, because I know people are going to try to look further into it, but in reality, that's kind of the trick to it. You need to just calm down and see what's ahead of you, in front of your face, and I hope some people just don't go too far and go crazy, but we will have those people. But we see that Sukada last year with Futaba and Kanami went to the fireworks, and it's kind of weird that it came back, but I think, Sukada was kind of testing Futaba, but Suka hasn't seen Mei in person for a week, and he goes to work, and we see Koga come into work with a yukata, and of course, good old Sukada kind of gives his little personal spin of a compliment, and it's good to see that she's still in there, but isn't in the background. I mean, she's pretty much almost gone. I hate to say it, but it's not a bad thing, because she isn't really the main focus in this, just like Mei in that last arc. But Mei actually shows up at Sukada's work, and Mei realizes that she's being a bad girlfriend to him, and basically Sukada kind of tries to weasel his way into getting her to do some stuff, and she goes, she'll do it to a point. And I couldn't stop laughing because I'm like, such a great relationship to see them bounce off each other. But we see Mei actually wait for Sukada to get off at work, and Mei spots Futaba going to an internet cafe, and they follow her into there, and Sukada calls Futaba because he can't understand what's going on. He can't comprehend what is going on, and Futaba is on the phone. But it's not the Futaba that's running, if that makes sense. And I know people are like scratching their head, what's going on? And we see Futaba get caught, the one that's in the internet cafe, and there's two Futabas, and it's been that way since 3 days ago, and the previous Futaba that he saw wasn't the real Futaba isn't the Futaba that he's talking to right now. To say the least, the one that he's talking to now is the real one, and the other one's the fake one. in their perspective, even though actually in the other Futabe's perspective that the other Futabe's fake. I know that right there just confused a lot of people, but that's just kind of, this entire thing's a matter of perspective, to say the least. But Mei and Futaba are staying at Sukada's place, and it was kind of funny because Mei told outright that she's going to stay there. Because she used the, would you like a man staying at my house? She goes, no. So they understood each other very well, and we see that Mei and Futaba actually have Sukada's room, and Sukada is sleeping in the living room, and we start to hear about, Futaba talking about, there's a blueprint of herself that she shares all info with herself, and it seems impossible for another Futaba to be actually a real thing, and basically this entire thing can be summed up that Futaba has two personalities that are materialized right now. That's kind of the best way they could put it. I'm kind of happy they put it that way, because some people wouldn't see that right away, but that's kind of the way to think around it easily without hurting yourself. But we see Mei sneaks into the living room, to lay down with Sukada, and this is all at night, and I'm like, oh, they're having their moment finally. And they basically, Sukada is going to investigate the fake Futaba instead of going on a date with Mei, and Mei is like, okay, I guess this kind of is a good payback for ignoring you for all this long. And I'm like, yeah, but we would rather see them go on a date. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would, but it's, as I said, it's not a primary romance anime, sadly. But we see Mei and Sukada kind of have their moment, in basically Mei said, I thought it was really sweet that, don't worry, that he can practice as much as he wants, she'll never give up on him with kissing. And I thought it was hilarious. And Mei, of course, was very shy about it. But anyway, so we see Sukada, Kanade, Mei, and Futaba, a lot of wonderful names there, are all having breakfast in together, and Futaba kind of talks about how it's the first time she's actually had breakfast with other people, and it kind of speaks volumes about how she's kind of this lonely person in reality. And we see Shoko show up, and the other Futaba wasn't, after they finished breakfast and everything, and Suka goes to school, Futaba wasn't, the fake one isn't at the lab, but is actually watching Kanami at practice. And Futaba likes Kanami, we find out, because one day that Futaba forgot her lunch, and Kanami kind of went out of his way to give her food, even though she tried to go to the truck to buy bread. And that's kind of all the stuff that it all started that way, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of interesting. And the fake Futaba is more open than the real one, which is kind of the difference. This is why I guess Futaba doesn't want to accept who that Futaba is, and we see Mei's manager actually call, and was surprised that Mei has a boyfriend, and kind of after that, I'm like, oh no, what's going to happen? And then we have another thing of Kanami picked up that Futaba is being different, then Kanami seems to care so much a lot about Futaba, then after that, it just all starts to kind of rush down, and we see that the fake Futaba is posting like these really lewd pictures of herself on Twitter, on a private account, and we see that Kanami's girlfriend is actually pointing that out, and I'm like, that's quite interesting. Then after we hear Mei call Saku about that she needs to talk to him about something, well, before the whole lewd pictures, and that's where I was like, oh no, don't you try to play with my heart's glove at work. But it seems that the possibilities that we're going to go through, and as I said, I'm not going to spoil it for you because I know people want to know the answer, but you gotta watch it. You gotta wait and watch it. I know that's a mean thing to say, but it's just how it goes. But let me give you the possibilities. It could be that Mei has picked up on the other Futaba picking up the other Futaba's, well, fake Futaba's actions, and is actually posting this stuff because they share a same conscience. Or B, Mei is in trouble because she has a boyfriend and she's in the acting career, and her manager was going to try to make her do something that she wouldn't want to do if she was, in a relationship. Or C, I'm probably past C, but Mei is going to not want to do the good old acting career anymore because she loves Saku too much. Cast your votes now. I know that's a bit harsh, but it's just, I want you guys to be surprised as much as the others. I know people want to know the answer right away, but you have to remember, this isn't a harem. And yes, you can use the movie as kind of the plot armor, but remember, Cloverworks doesn't care. I'm just playing around with you, but yeah, don't worry, they're gonna be together. That's all you gotta need to know. But going through some interesting things. So apparently, there's a fake Shoko, which means that the real Shoko is still around somewhere, and the question is, where is she? That's why I'm now saying that this isn't just, Futabe's arc. This is going to be some character development on the good old Suku. And it's just, I hope it goes well, to say the least, but it's just interesting with that ideas that was presented in this episode. It does mean that Shoko is somewhere, but it just hasn't been found yet. Just wait. But going to the other thing, it was quite interesting. But with the Futaba thing, with the two Futabes, so to put it in scientific terms, there's a constant, which is the appearance and attitude of Futaba that both have, but the difference is, which is the variables, is how they're going to act upon those constants. How, Futaba, the fake one, is more open with Kanami and how she feels about Kanami, which I thought was quite interesting. But it's quite fascinating how everything's going, to say the least. And I can't really wait for the next episode. But I do have to announce I can't cover episode 9, which is the episode after the next episode. I'll be actually quite busy, so I apologize in advance, kind of thing. But hopefully, maybe I can get around to doing it. But who knows? If it's really crazy, you could see it kind of take up another day. But who knows? As I said. But anyways, I am gonna cut the gameplay short a bit. So I do apologize. Do tell me next time for the next video that if you just want me to continue it, just throw on the audio for the game again. Just tell me down in the comments down below and I'll do that for you. But anyways, guys, this is Austin the Doctor signing out. Peace.